This episode is brought to you by Flip the Hood. Talking about he ain't got no muscles. What is that? Okay. Welcome to another episode of Ask Carlemile. I'm going to talk about getting in shape. I have to get a personal trainer here to actually talk about getting in shape and looking cute or not. As soon as I start working out, I look pregnant again. So, how do I stop from, getting to that situation?
Well, what you want to mainly focus on is your daily caloric intake. Mm-hmm. Like, when you're exercising, that's when your calories should actually be at its max, because what you need throughout an exercise session, what you really need is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are your energy. Mm-hmm. So, let's say if you're about to go for an hour run or a 30-minute run, you want to make sure that you're getting some carbohydrates in you. So brown rice, pasta, something like that. Fibrous carbohydrates, not simple sugars, because that will just run through you. And 30 minutes after, you're like, oh man, I'm exhausted. So you want to make sure you have something that's gonna last. You understand?
Right.
So whatever you've been eating before you go for a run or before you do a little exercise session.
Some days I have oatmeals. Some days I can have oatmeal in the beginning of the day. Some days it'll be actual regular oats, and I mix it with milk. Some days it'll be the artificial flavored ones with the processed fruit flavored, artificial flavored stuff like that. Some days it'll be eggs and garlic, and then there'll be other days it'll just be whatever I find in the fridge.
Okay, so try to increase your carbohydrates a little bit. If you know you're gonna go for a run, if you know you're gonna do some push-ups, if you know
sometimes in the morning usually when I run I don't even take anything. I just get up, drink some water, and run.
That's the wrong approach at it. Your body is kind of adapted to the how many miles you on? 3 miles or so?
I just run. How big do you think Rasha is? Rasha is 120 acres?
Yeah, about 3 miles.
Yeah, so 3 miles, right?
So your body is accustomed to that. Mm-hmm. Let's say if out of the blue construction happened and now you have to do jumps or something like that.
Yeah.
By the time you reach 1.5 miles, you'll be exhausted because your body's not used to that new stress. You understand?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're constantly fueling your body before you go for an exercise session. Because every time you work out, what you should want to do is put new stress. You understand? Let's say if I'm going into the gym and I'm doing a chest workout, I'm not going to do the same thing I did the other day. That's insanity. You understand? You're not going to achieve new results doing the same exact thing over and over.
Right. So how do you know when to start to switch up the repetition?
You should try to switch every single time. Your goal should be constantly improving. If you're not improving throughout your workouts, you're not gonna get any stronger. It's like you being a filmmaker. If you're if you're constantly making the same movie over and over, who's gonna want to watch it?
Right, because you're watching the same thing.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Now, all right. So since you're a bodybuilder for a living, and everything, you have to keep yourself physically fit. How do you keep the discipline? All right, I can't touch this because this is gonna mess with my diet or my plan, my workout. How do you keep that discipline?
Well, I think about what is my competitors doing. I see guys who are ridiculously ripped and they're strict with their diet and they're training their asses off, and I'm sitting here trying to eat some cake. That's not gonna help.
That's my problem a lot. Every day I go through that. Especially after the party we went to the other day. You know how much cake I had left in the fridge? I'm like, oh my god, I gotta shoot this section in a week. How am I gonna do this? And there was no frosting. I'm sitting oh my god, I gotta put frosting on it. And it was just keep having those fat boy moments over and over. And I'm like, damn, I need to go to the gym. So what keeps you I gotta go back to the gym?
Constantly wanting to progress, constantly wanting to get better. You always wanna just get better, be better than you was before. That's all it is. And I still see guys out there who look amazing, and I want to beat them. I want to be like that. I have idols out there like Doug Miller, one of my guys, Siobhan Cunningham, world natural bodybuilding champion. I want to be just like him. I see him all the time because he lives not too far from me, and he tells me all the time you got to train hard and diet hard, and I want to be just like him. He started his first pro show just like me. I'm not ashamed to admit it. He placed last. So did I. But I'm still constantly trying to get better. So
you're award winning though. You got a couple of awards on your belt. He's just being humble. He got a couple of awards. Well, all right. So we're gonna have to have him show us some moves and figure out how to do this workout. Because last time I worked out with him, I couldn't keep up at all. We jogged for at least a couple miles, like 3 times. Then about the 4th time, I couldn't move no more. I was on a bench. I was out of breath. I couldn't do it.
I did better than that.
And then after that, we had to start on the pull-ups. There was no more. There was nothing left in this body. No more energy. No more muscles. No nothing. So we're gonna have to do another workout. Take 2 on that one and figure out how to keep going with that one. But you got a show coming up. What's your next show?
Next show is in April 2015. It's in Washington. So I'm gonna start my diet in January. For now, I'm just enjoying life and lifting as heavy as I can.
Cool. Well, so any place you want them to hit you up on? Look for you.
You can find me on Instagram, Emmanuel Lafleur Pro. Follow me, like my pictures, like my videos. Ask me for any help. I'm working at New York Sports Club over in Whitestone, so come check me out if you're looking for some personal training.
All right. Any 3 quick tips you could tell anybody who just getting ready to start? Like they never worked out, they never tried to lift the weight, they never did a crunch or push up, never ran. What's the first advice can you give them?
Hire a professional. When I first started, I wish I had done the same thing. If you're not hiring a professional, get advice from a professional. Don't injure yourself. And eat right.
Right, that's the most important part. You watch what you put inside your stomach. You are what you eat, right? Basically, right?
Exactly.
You are what you eat. So don't eat cheap stuff unless you want to be a cheap person. All sluggish in the inside with all the fake processed stuff. All right. Till next time, y'all. Much love. God bless. Later.